Hi, I'm Rhonda Massad, and I am here with your Real Estate Minute with Marc Leroux of the Cardinal Realty Group. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Rhonda.
Thanks for coming back and doing this with us. We want to learn all there is to know about real estate in this funny little market that we're in. Funny and yet exciting for buyers and very exciting for sellers. How does a first-time buyer get into this market?
Right. Well, Rhonda, the misconception about getting into the real estate business, the real estate industry, is that you have to purchase your own home. And in fact, that's not the case. You can get in as an investor and rent your own home. So if we start off with this bombshell idea that you can invest rather than buy your own home.
So you're saying like DJ, he's 22 years old and he really can't figure out how he's going to get into this market. So he would buy a property with his deposit and let somebody else take the expenses, like by renting it out?
Let me give you a scenario, because DJ or anyone else, when you buy a property for yourself, you have your own criteria. So if you have a car, you need someone to park it. If you have, you work from home, you need a home office somewhere. If you have kids, you need rooms for them. You don't want to be too far from your friends, family, work, so location is limited as well. Let's say, as an example, what you need to live is worth $500,000, but you can, using down payment and loan, afford $300,000. So then you would buy an investment, something that's worth $300,000 or perhaps $250,000, and you put some renovation into it, and then at $300,000, that's what it's worth. You rent it out, and then you rent where you live.
So my rental is cheaper than theoretically my mortgage and costs of the one I own.
Well, ideally, you want your rent to cover all your expenses, but even if it doesn't, and you end up $100 out of pocket each month, that's the cost of owning your real estate, is $100 a month or whatever.
Plus, you're paying your capital. When you're paying your mortgage, you have to always remember that you're paying your capital along with your interest.
Right. So the strategy here is, so you can't afford to buy where you live right now. You buy the investment, and then 4 years from now, you can sell that one and use the equity that you have, plus the equity that you've built up, plus increase in salary over 4 years, plus maybe your credit score has gotten better. Now you're in a good position to purchase your own home. I would like to talk about the differences between buying your own home and buying an investment, because there are several. When you buy your own home, you can do it with as little as 5% down. All of the renovations and maintaining of the home is not tax deductible. You have to do it with your own after-tax dollars. The interest that you pay on your loan is not tax deductible either. And when you sell, you have an exemption from paying any taxes of capital gains.
Okay.
So the additional value that you've created, you don't have to pay tax on it.
As opposed to?
So the investment is,
Right.
is different in every way. So you need 20% cash down to buy an investment. Then all of the maintaining and all of the upgrading that you do is tax deductible. So literally, when you look at your salary, before you pay taxes, you can deduct these expenses from your salary. So there are tax benefits there. The interest that you pay on the loan is tax deductible as well. It's an expense. And finally, when you sell, then you have to pay capital gains on the increased value of the property. So pros and cons, when you look at it from the macro scale, it evens itself out. So either buying as an investment real estate or buying your home will have benefits in the long term. The trick is to get in and not wait.
Yeah, getting in and not waiting, because we don't know which way this market's going to go.
Either way, you get into the real estate market at some point in your life, and you stay in it for the better part of your life. So it's about getting in early.
It's about getting in early and getting started. I know from myself, I bought a smaller property, then 10 years later bought a bigger one, and then actually backed it up and then bought a smaller one. So it's once you're in, the difficulty is less.
Well, those first transactions are going to be the most difficult, because you're learning a lot on the way. And I've worked with a lot of first-time buyers. I educate a lot when we look at properties together, when we talk about buying and selling real estate. Once you get accustomed to the procedure of buying and selling real estate, it becomes one of those things that you know, and it's easy to do.
Yeah, keep your notice of assessments close at hand, because you don't want to have to look for those when you're rushing to make a purchase.
Sure.
All right. Thanks so much for joining us today. Marc, we'll get together every single week, and we want to hear all you have to say and teach us all about the real estate in the area.
My pleasure, Rhonda. Thank you for having me.
That was your Real Estate Minute. Have a good rest of your day.